Hi everyone, my name is Angelica Flores, and today for the first book presentation, I'm going to talk about the Canterville Coast by Oscar Wilde. So, what are we gonna talk about in this video? First of all, the author's information to give a little bit of context about his life. Then the second thing we're gonna be talking about is why he wrote the book. Some information about what led the author to write the book. Then for number three, we're gonna be seeing some of the world's context, some important events that were going on the year the book was published, which was 1887. Number four, I'm gonna give you a little bit of information about the characters of the book before we talk about the book so that you are familiar with the names. Number five is the book summary. I'm gonna describe everything that happens in the book. For number six, we're gonna give three options about the possible endings, and you have to guess which one is the real one according to what you have heard and seen about the video. Number seven is the connection to real life. I think this book gives a really clear one, and we're going to be talking about it at the end. And number eight is the resources. I'm going to give some links of the um, webs that I use for this presentation. So let's get started. So for the first one, we're gonna talk about the author's information. His name was Oscar Wilde. He was born in 1854. His dad was a surgeon and his mom was a writer too. He studied in the Magdalen College and in Oxford, where, where he became involved in the aesthetic movement. And in 1881, his first poetry was published. In 1884, he got married to Constance Lloyd, and a few years later, he had his first son. As I could see in the research, it's the birth of his first son that inspires him to write the Canterville Coast in 1887. But then in 1891, he starts an affair with Lord Alfred Douglas. So in 1895, the father of Douglas sues him for being homosexual. And in that same year, he goes to jail because, well, he lost the trial. In 1897, he gets out of jail, but his reputation was never the same. He could never get back on his feet. So in 1900, he died. The second part is why did he write the book? As in the research, I found that he was a really big name in the aestheticism movement, and he also wanted to portray the differences between Americans and British. So that's a big influence in the book and is something that you can see right away. About the year 1887, which is the year the Canterville Coast book was published, we're gonna see a timeline about some important events that took place that year. In January 28, the work on the Eiffel Tower in Paris began. Then in February 20, Germany, Austria, Hungary, and France ended the Triple Alliance. In May 28, there was a mining disaster in Scotland, which caused the death of 73 coal miners. In June the 4th, the Pasteur Institute was founded by French biologist Louis Pasteur in Paris. September 15th is the 100th anniversary of the US Constitution. And in October 1st, the British Empire takes over Balochistan. Now for number 4, I'm gonna tell you about the book characters so that when we read the book summary, you are familiar with them. The first one and the main character is Sir Simon. He is the Canterville Ghost. He was a 16th century aristocrat that lived in the Canterville Chase. But one day he murdered his wife, so that's why he became a ghost there, because he wasn't able to go to the afterlife because of what he did. Then we have Virginia Otis, who is an American girl that moves in the house with her family. And then we have the Duke of Cheshire, who is a wealthy young English aristocrat who falls in love with Virginia. Hiram Otis and Lucretia Otis are, the father and mother of Virginia. They also live in the house. Then we have the twins, who are Stars and Stripes. This is a very clear reference to the American flag, the United States flag. So they are the brothers of Virginia. Then we have Washington Otis, who is the older brother. Also, his name is a clear reference to the to North America. And Mrs. Omni, who is the housekeeper that worked with Sir Simon, and then when the house was sold, she decided to stay and work for the Otis family as well. So number 5, we have the book summary. I'm gonna tell you how everything evolves in the story. First, we have the Otis family that moves from America to the Canterville castle. When they arrive, they find a stain in the floor, and in the sitting room, they try to clean it, but it keeps coming back. And the housekeeper tells them that it's been there since 1575 because of the murder of the wife of Sir Otis, Lady Eleanor. And the family just scrubs the stain away and every day, but it keeps coming back every morning. So makes the family consider the fact that the housekeeper was right, but they try not to pay attention to it. But then one night, these ideas are confirmed when Mr. Otis runs into the Canterville ghost, who is wearing chains. So when he's walking, the chains make sound. So Mr. Otis is just like, you should put oil in your chains so that they don't wake me up at night. So he isn't really bothered about the ghost at all. And the twins, they like to play pranks to the ghost. They are not afraid of him. They just make fun of him. They they make jokes about him and make him feel like he's not doing a good job because he's not released. One day when the Duke of Cheshire is in the mansion talking to Virginia, she sees the ghost and goes up to him, and he explains that he's sad because no one is scared of him, and he really wants to go to the afterlife because he doesn't want to be there anymore. So and he needs a pure soul to help him achieve his goal to go to the afterlife. So Virginia agrees to help him, and they pass through a secret opening in the wall and they just vanish. So now, which do you think is the real ending? I mean, the one I just gave you is not really the ending. The first one is that the ghost and Virginia kind of fall in love, and she decides to stay in the afterlife with him. The second one is that Virginia comes back and marries the Duke of Cheshire. And the third one is that the ghost betrays Virginia and kills her. Which do you think is the real one? I mean, I know which is the real one. So you can try to guess which is the real one. If you already know it, well, congratulations. So the connection to real life, I think here I have two. The first one is a very obvious one for me, is that Americans, they are not really very careful or respectful according to the author. The author tries to portray them as very careless people and rude. And the other one could also be that maybe the author is trying to tell us that the mistakes you make can always be repaired, like the ghost killed his wife and had a punish for it for many years, and then someone tries to help him, but we don't know if he really changed or not. I mean, we don't know what happened at the end. That would be all. Thank you.